For nearly 2 months now, restaurants in Washington have sat empty. The latest restrictions are set to expire in about a week. Restaurants are now trying to figure out what's next.
And after a day of rainy conditions, I'm already tracking the next batch of rainfall as our temperatures still promise to stay mild.
Plus, the KREM 2 vaccine team is answering more of your questions tonight. How do you know if and when you're eligible to get the vaccine? We have the answers tonight. We have an update now about that breaking news about a missing teen out of Yakima, that Amber Alert. Well, as of 10:19 tonight, police say she was found and she is safe. No other information was provided. Good evening and thank you for joining us for KREM 2 News at 11 tonight. I'm Mark Hanrahan. Regina is off. It's been nearly 2 months since the latest round of coronavirus restrictions in Washington forced restaurants to close their doors to indoor dining. With an update from Governor Inslee expected next week, local eateries are trying to figure out how they should prepare for the future and whether they'll be able to welcome guests once again inside. KREM 2's Brandon T. Jones explains.
The last 7 weeks have been filled with confusion about what's next. Throughout the region, COVID-19 still has a firm grip on how businesses can operate. Restrictions remain in place, and the challenge of remaining closed hasn't gotten any easier.
Yeah, the adoption center experience definitely changed in mid-November when everything shut down.
Josh Wade is the owner of Bark, a rescue pup. On top of running an adoption clinic for pets, they're known for doubling as a restaurant. Since closing, Bark has adapted with outdoor seating, installing igloos to salvage whatever business they could. Those adjustments are some of the many obstacles. While waiting on updates from the state, their employees are dealing with the stress of constantly being on standby.
And, they need to know to adjust their schedules. Many of them might have children or families they have to adjust with. Some might not want to come back. So we have to balance, who do we have available to us?
If Governor Inslee announces that dining indoors is allowed to return, it would be a relief for places like Bark. They aren't holding their breath, though. Guidelines were supposed to be lifted on the 4th, but were extended. Depending on the spread of COVID, that's a possibility local business owners have to be ready for once again.
Then we need to get those product orders in so we can have them for prep and all of that by Friday, if not sooner.
Until protocols are lifted, Bark's adoption agency will only be open Thursday through Sunday.
We can provide a sense of joy and excitement to Spokane because they've been so good to us. We want to continue to be good to them.
As the new year gets underway, they're hopeful that a safe and enjoyable environment will soon return. From Spokane, Brandon T. Jones, KREM 2 News.
Today, MultiCare announced they would be one of the 100 clinics and hospitals around the country participating in Novavax's coronavirus vaccine trial. This will be the third phase of the vaccine trial. In a press release, MultiCare says they hope to enroll 300 participants in the clinical trial at their Rockwood clinic. They are now looking for a diverse group of participants, including people over the age of 65 and those with underlying medical conditions. MultiCare doctors will hold a virtual town hall on the 12th for people wanting to learn more about the trial.
But I felt a little bit of relief knowing that I'm going to be protected pretty close to the near future, and then I'm going to protect my family. Eventually they'll get it. We'll all be protected.
Starting today, Spokane County's first responders began getting vaccinated against COVID-19. A drive-through clinic is set up at the Fire Training Center now. Over the course of 10 days, they expect 3,000 EMS personnel will get vaccinated. And just today, 162 people got the vaccine. Right now, only people in the Phase 1A category are receiving the vaccine in Washington, which does include high-risk first responders. Also among that Phase 1A of Washington's vaccine distribution process is residents and staff of nursing homes and assisted living facilities. Today, Touchmark, a senior living facility up here on the South Hill, vaccinated 100 residents and staff.
And people are really excited to have it coming and looking forward to the next 2 clinics with the vaccines.
The center had its first drive-through vaccination event in late December and gave out 125 shots of Pfizer's vaccine. Their next drive-through for the second dose will be on January 20th. And how will you know when you qualify for the coronavirus vaccine? The Washington State Department of Health is launching a new tool that will allow residents to determine their eligibility for the vaccine. It's called Phase Finder. It allows users to take a survey to determine when they'll be eligible to get the vaccine. Currently, the tool only works for determining if people are eligible for Phase 1 of the vaccine plan. The tool will officially roll out after January 6th and help determine at which phase of the vaccine plan users will become eligible. The DOH will notify residents either by text message or email when they're eligible to get the vaccine. And do you have a vaccine question you'd like the KREM 2 vaccine team to look into? Text it to us right now at 509-448-2000 and we'll work hard to bring you the facts. And in the meantime, for the latest COVID-19 vaccine updates, text the word vaccine to that very same number. Spokane Regional Health District is reporting 200 new COVID cases today. 3 more deaths were also reported. Since the pandemic began, there have been 27,562 coronavirus cases in Spokane County. Currently, 112 people are in our local hospitals being treated for COVID. Meantime, over in North Idaho, the Panhandle Health District is reporting 545 new coronavirus cases since Thursday. 3 new deaths were also reported, and currently 87 people are hospitalized. All right, let's talk weather, shall we? Kind of a rainy, gray, a bit windy day out there today. Let's get straight to meteorologist Thomas Patrick joining us from the Outdoor Weather Center. And Thomas, my goodness, today kind of felt like a day over on the Washington or Oregon coast, not in the Northwest per se.
Is that a good thing, Mark?
I don't know. I guess it could be worse, as always, right?
Yeah, that is true. In fact, like right now, even though it's not rain, it's definitely the coldest I've felt all day today, because we can call this weather what it is. It's warm for January standards. Rain right from the moment that I woke up. It did taper off at around 3 to 4 o'clock earlier this afternoon, and we actually got at least dry conditions to work with for tonight. A little bit of a break, and I think that's the one big difference between us and a rainy weather pattern as opposed to our friends out in Seattle and Portland. We at least can get breaks between these weather systems, and that's where we're going to find ourselves right now and for the day tomorrow. So we might squeeze out a bit of sunshine because we're in between the 2 weather systems. Here's the one that worked through today. Here's the next one that's just starting to get into the coast. So of course, Seattle will just continue to get at least scattered showers tomorrow, but we get a break. Mostly cloudy, partly cloudy conditions, but at least we'll see a little bit of sunshine. And honestly, temperature is quite mild. Again, for January standards, running about 10 degrees above normal in the low to mid 40s. And that's where we find ourselves, not just for the first full week of January, but even into the middle part of the month. A warmer but wetter weather pattern. And the wetter weather pattern does resemble the La Nina winter, but maybe not this side of the graphic. I'll show you how much warmer we are going to be running throughout the course of this week, how much more rain is in the forecast as well. We're timing out those next weather systems.
Looking forward to that, Thomas. Thank you very much. Even with high COVID case numbers, several local school districts are starting to bring more students back for in-person learning. That's because back in mid-December, Governor Jay Inslee and the state superintendent unveiled new guidelines for reopening. Guidelines that said schools are not a big source of virus spread. Even for areas with extremely high COVID activity like Spokane County, these guidelines called for the phased reintroduction of in-person learning at certain grade levels. It says to prioritize K through 3 and then phase in grades 4 and 5. But it also says to keep class sizes to 15 or smaller. 2 days later, Spokane Health Officer Dr. Frank Velasquez made a big announcement. He officially endorsed phasing in grades 3 through 5 in Spokane schools starting in mid-January. At the time, SPS had only K through 2 in person. That's still the case today. That same day, Superintendent Adam Swinyard sent a message to families. It did not provide any concrete updates other than an announcement would be coming on January 6th. That's all we know for right now. On Wednesday, we are expected to hear exactly how SPS plans to handle grades 3 through 5. That will be 3 weeks after Governor Inslee's initial update. We'll keep you posted. Meantime, West Valley School District and Central Valley School District could be bringing back more students to in-person learning. CVSD will bring 4th graders back to in-person classes on January 14th. That's according to Superintendent Ben Small. Then 5th graders would tentatively return on the 21st. Meantime, half of West Valley's 4th graders could return to school the 14th, as well as the other half on the 15th. Now that's according to the new plan from the district. Half of their 5th graders would return on the 21st, with the other half on the 22nd. Still to come on KREM 2 News at 11 tonight, Idaho officials are expected to give an update about the coronavirus vaccine in the state. Plus, the next round of people who can start getting the vaccine starting Wednesday. Stay with us. We're back after this.